Patty Loveless was born Patricia Lee Ramey on January 4, 1957, in Pikeville, Kentucky, and raised in the coal mining town of Elkhorn City. Her childhood unfolded among Appalachian hills where music was not entertainment but lifeblood. Gospel harmonies, bluegrass rhythms, and traditional country songs floated through her home and community, shaping her ear and her soul. Her father, John Ramey, worked in the mines and later suffered from black lung disease, a reality that left a lasting impression on Patty's understanding of hardship and resilience. Her mother, Naomi, encouraged singing as a shared family experience, urging Patty to harmonize with her siblings. Those early moments forged the emotional depth that would define her voice. Long before fame, Patty learned that music was a way to tell the truth about life, its pain, beauty, and quiet dignity. Early dreams and family determination. As a teenager, Patty Loveless looked to women like Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton for inspiration. Both came from Kentucky roots similar to her own and proved that authenticity could rise above circumstance. With her brother Roger acting as guitarist, manager, and protector, Patty began performing seriously while still young. The siblings made frequent trips to Nashville during the early 1970s, chasing opportunity with little more than talent and belief. On one visit, Patty sang backstage at the Grand Ole Opry, catching the attention of industry veterans, including Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton themselves. Though no immediate contracts followed, those moments planted confidence. They showed her that she belonged in country music's inner circle. These early brushes with greatness were not shortcuts to success, but encouragements, proof that a coal miner's daughter could stand among legends if she stayed true to herself. Struggles, sacrifice, and a name that stuck. Patty's early adult years were marked by ambition and uncertainty. In her late teens, she married Terry Loveless, a musician with whom she performed in small clubs throughout the South. Their partnership blended country and rock influences, reflecting a period of experimentation and survival. It was from this marriage that Patty adopted the stage name Loveless, a name that would eventually become iconic. Life on the road was demanding, and financial instability, long separations, and the pressures of an unformed career strained their relationship. As rejection mounted and opportunities slipped away, Patty eventually returned to Kentucky to regroup. The marriage ended in divorce in the mid-1980s, closing a difficult chapter. Yet this period of struggle shaped her artistry. The heartbreak, uncertainty, and perseverance she lived would later pour through her voice, giving her songs the emotional credibility that fans would recognize instantly. Finding her place in Nashville. Encouraged once again by her brother Roger, Patty returned to Nashville with renewed determination. By the mid-1980s, her voice began to turn heads in Music City. She signed with MCA Records in 1985, a breakthrough that marked the beginning of her professional rise. Her debut albums, If My Heart Had Windows and Honky Tonk Angel, introduced a singer deeply rooted in tradition, yet refreshingly modern. Songs like Chains, Timber, I'm Falling in Love, and Don't Toss Us Away climbed the charts, earning her respect among traditionalists and mainstream audiences alike. Patty emerged as a leading voice in the neo-traditional country movement, which sought to restore storytelling and emotional honesty to the genre. Her voice, rich, aching, and grounded, felt like a return to country music's soul at a time when it desperately needed one. A partnership built on trust and respect. Behind much of Patty Loveless's greatest work was producer and musician Emory Gordy Jr., whom she married in 1989. Gordy, already an established figure in country music, understood Patty's voice with rare intuition. Their collaboration was built on mutual respect rather than ego. Emory knew when to guide and when to step back, allowing Patty's instincts to lead. Together, they crafted records that were emotionally layered and sonically rich, blending traditional country with subtle modern textures. Their marriage became one of the most stable partnerships in the industry, offering Patty a sense of peace she had long sought. This stability allowed her artistry to deepen rather than harden. Instead of chasing trends, Patti focused on meaning. With Emery beside her, she found a creative home, one where vulnerability was protected and authenticity was never compromised. Returning to the roots that shaped her, while many artists of her era pursued pop crossover success, Patti Loveless chose a different path. Her 2001 album Mountain Soul was a deliberate return to her Appalachian roots, blending bluegrass instrumentation with deeply personal storytelling. The project was widely praised for its sincerity and craftsmanship. Songs explored themes of faith, family, loss, and rural life, not as nostalgia, but as lived experience. Mountain Soul wasn't just an album, it was a statement of identity. Patti followed it with Mountain Soul 2 in 2009, reaffirming her commitment to the traditions that shaped her voice. These records bridged the worlds of country and bluegrass, earning respect from purists and new listeners alike. In honoring where she came from, Patti reminded the industry that evolution doesn't require abandonment. Sometimes it requires going home. Quiet strength and enduring grace. Throughout her career, Patti Loveless earned multiple awards from the Country Music Association and the Academy of Country Music, and she was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry in 1988, a lifelong dream fulfilled. Yet fame never altered her demeanor. Known for humility and kindness, Patti remained grounded, avoiding the spotlight when it no longer served her spirit. In later years, she gradually stepped back from constant touring and chart pursuits, choosing balance over visibility. Still, when she returned to the stage, the power remained undeniable. Her 2023 performance alongside Chris Stapleton and Dwight Yoakam at the CMA Awards reminded audiences of her unmatched emotional authority. Age had not softened her voice, it had deepened it. Patti proved that longevity in country music isn't about staying loud, but about staying true, a bond beyond the stage. Vince Gill. Among Patti Loveless's most meaningful professional relationships is her enduring friendship with Vince Gill. Their connection began in the early 1990s, when both artists were at the height of their careers. Their duet, My Kind of Woman, My Kind of Man, became a classic, celebrated for its natural harmony and emotional intimacy. Years later, Patti would speak openly about what Vince meant to her, not just musically, but personally. She described him as a steady presence, someone who offered quiet encouragement when self-doubt crept in. Vince understood her instincts and respected her silences. He reminded her that music was about honesty, not perfection. Their performances felt less like collaboration and more like conversation, two voices meeting without competition, bound by mutual trust and a shared reverence for the song. Music as comfort in life's hardest moments. One of the most moving moments Patti shared with Vince Gill came during George Jones's 2013 funeral, when they performed Go Rest High on That Mountain. The performance was unscripted and deeply emotional. As Vince struggled to contain his grief, Patti instinctively joined him, her harmony offering strength rather than spectacle. Later, she reflected on the moment as a reminder of music's sacred power. It wasn't about the audience or legacy. It was about being present for one another. Patti often noted that the industry could be isolating, especially for women, but friendships like hers with Vince made the journey bearable. He checked in during quiet years, offered support during health challenges, and remained unchanged by fame. Their bond endured because it was rooted in kindness, not ambition. A legacy, written in truth, not noise. As Patti Loveless reflects on her life and career, she is quick to credit those who walked beside her, family, collaborators, and friends like Vince Gill. She speaks not of chart positions, but of connection. For Patti, music has always been about telling the truth with grace. Her voice carries the weight of mountains, the softness of prayer, and the strength of survival. In finally speaking about the people who shaped her journey, she reminds listeners what country music is meant to be. It is not spectacle, but story, not ego, but empathy. Patty Loveless's legacy is not just in the songs she sang, but in the way she lived them, quietly, honestly, and with enduring heart.